Good evening, sir. How are you?
Melissa, I am doing pretty good tonight. How are you doing?
It's cold down here in the south. We're not okay.
Let's
Like,
see.
we're not okay at all.
Cold. We're actually almost at our daytime high of 15 degrees right now. That is above zero. And we are going to have a heat wave coming up here next week where we actually get above freezing again, finally.
Good evening, Mr. Jeremy. How are you, sir?
Oh, wow. We got two different Base Wars accounts in there tonight as well. That's kind of scary because I'm not on either of those.
Well, one it tags Facebook, one tags YouTube.
I was going to say one is YouTube, one is Facebook. I don't remember if mine tags. I don't remember which one. It doesn't matter. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing tonight?
Good evening, sir. Good to see you. The videos of his build look incredible. The video with Bella in there was awesome.
Saw that. I do actually check out people's builds when I'm not actually looking at other things here, Base Wars related or car audio related or employment related and things like that. So I saw quite a few very entertaining looking builds over the last 2 or 3 days.
Right. I have seen some really good stuff. I had a bunch of new builds come out this weekend that was really nice. Not everybody got to run the lanes this weekend because of the ice that was pouring down. And I am going to say, everybody that left halfway through the show, I do appreciate that because by the end of the show, the roads were closed. I just wanted everybody to get home safe. That was important.
That sounds similar to my show that I had the weekend, the Saturday before Halloween here this past October down in Yankton. Showed up at 9 a.m. I went to a restaurant, had breakfast, got done with breakfast, went to the park where we were going to be having it. It looked nice. It didn't look like there was anything on the radar. All of a sudden, it started creeping up out of Nebraska, and yeah, we got a good 3 inches in an hour. It was pretty nice, though. But my
Well,
truck
now I can
on the left.
officially say I've worked a show in the snow. Let's hope that shit never happens again.
I
All right,
did.
Mr. Brandon, you got an invite to see what Base Force is about. How can we help you get comfortable running lanes with
There we
us, sir?
go.
Because we would love to have you. Good evening. How
Hey,
are
Chuck, what's
you?
going on?
Ah, hello. That was a great build that come out this weekend. Nice to see you, sir.
Oh, Judge is in the house.
Good evening, sir. I hope you made it back from Florida safely. Brought some of that sunshine with you.
Hey, I said it was 15 degrees here. That's enough for the sunshine for now.
I can't live like that. Greg, do you have any shows coming up that they need to be aware of while we still got you up in here?
I didn't even
Good
look
evening,
to see what
Mr.
Greg
Shane Martin.
coming.
Mm,
I was looking at like 5 other things here tonight. I haven't looked at shows yet. I probably should do that.
yeah, let's see what we got for this winter wonderland we got going on.
But we got your show in Anniston this coming weekend.
Today at
And
the yard sale spot.
we got the UAF show on the February 2nd, which is always UAF. They always have a show the first Friday of the month, and it is a nighttime show. It's where we see a lot of the intro and exit videos where you're seeing the nighttime neon. That's where we're getting a lot of that info from and a lot of that video footage from. It's really nice to see, and I was kind of jealous, so I started scheduling nighttime shows as well coming up for my area up here. So
If you can find a place to schedule a nighttime show, nothing beats that. It is quite amazing.
they always are. Well, for that matter, any show is always amazing.
I love a nighttime show.
We get
It's
Indian
just a
Christmas snow or
whole
anything like
different feel.
that.
Mr.
Good evening.
Adam Gladden, I am so
Good
glad
evening
you
as
left
well.
halfway through the show, sir. I completely understood getting that XB up out of there. I don't know what was going on where we were, but this one little town just ended up with all the ice. Everything around it would seem to be fine. It was just us. Good evening, Mr. John Ray. Good to see you. But I guess that brings me to thank you to Cartoons of the Shoals for inviting us out, for sticking it out with us. And let me tell you, even the owner put together a Port Wars box.
Nice.
They built him a box the night before the show just so he'd have something he could run to. So it was quite exciting to watch because they had a couple of builds that they had done that week. Love those. Just throw it together, see what you got.
Every once in a while, the systems that are thrown together the night before do really, really well. And I won't pat myself on the back too much with that, but I've had systems built where my buddy Phil and we finished a system at 2 a.m. I've then driven 2.5 hours to get to a show and set a state record before. So yeah, they can be really fun. They can also
I
fall
love
flat on
y'all
their
too.
face.
And
That
I will
happens.
be coming to see y'all soon. Soon as you tell me what day. Team No Chill. We've got a couple team members up in here. We've got Bang Gang, Team No Chill, Team Flexing on them.
We got some chill up here. It's chilly. It's 15 degrees. We got all the chill you guys need. If you want some, you can come up here.
There we go. There's our date. Damn.
There you go.
He locked that in quick. I would say you were on it. All right. Well,
Hey,
there's our
my
first
touchpad.
Team No Chill event. Let me mark this in my phone before I forget it.
RJ, I knew there was a reason that your name looked familiar. Yeah, you were the guy that I got the noise complaint about.
That's so funny.
That is a great team name. I don't mean to make light of that, but that is one of the better team names that I have seen in the world of bass in 30 some odd years of being around it, doing it, and just having fun with it. That is a great name, man.
All right.
If you came up with it, great. If not, congrats to the person who did.
Please send me the completed address, the time, and the gate fee too, sir. And I'll get that show turned in and we'll start getting it up and getting some publicity on it. Because I need South Alabama shows. Yeah.
I need some North Dakota shows. I need some Minnesota shows.
All right, where you want to go? Let's let them know.
I got to talk to my guy Rocky, who's got a few things that I generally do up in North Dakota that are literally 5 miles from the Canadian border and about 30 miles from the Canadian border. Got to talk with him probably later tomorrow and see if he can help me out and get the dates set up for those. Got a couple others that I would like to see up in that area. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more Western Minnesota or Twin Cities shows in Minnesota. Had a guy talk about something out by Green Bay that I saw at one point as well.
Yes, sir. I will send you everything you need to get up on your flyer.
We got all kinds of logos like that for you, Ben. That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, I need some more of the vector files, though. That way I can start cutting emblems.
Sure.
The one Billy sent me, man, I'm having so much trouble with the B. The inside of it doesn't want to cut out.
It's a really tight curve if he sent you the true vectors on those. And that actually is something that I never realized it when I was working in another job long ago, how much I actually knew about media and the difference between if you're trying to print on like a scrim or a heavyweight bonded or a coated paper or a gloss of vinyl, all that information that I used to need to know because I would work on these 5 and 6 foot long plotters. Like if I was printing this off again behind me and it not being a green screen, if I was printing something like that off and I was trying to get off just this little tab right here in the center of the A, if it was really small and you couldn't get at it, there's a lot of little things like that you can do in the print settings that I have totally forgotten over the years, but I still remember them. No.
That is a true competitor statement. I don't care if we go, I'll just ride with you.
No.
He just wants to go to a show.
No. Sorry, Justin. Mom is probably coming with me. And then again, my mom is 87 years old. So how cool is that to have mom in the car with you while you're cruising 400 miles north? I'll let you ride in the trailer, maybe.
The show where I went out to Texas, John Ray's mom come out and got hair tricks.
Nice.
That was awesome. She's just standing there talking, getting her hair tricked. That was so cute. I love things like that.
That is always a good time. Whenever you can get more people involved, moms, dads, kids, spouses, friends, of course, or if you are the new person at the show, as was mentioned earlier by Benjamin, come on out. get some ideas, make some, or excuse me, not Benjamin, Brandon, I'm sorry. You know, make friends with someone there as he did with Kenneth, and have Kenneth kind of show you what it's about. Ask questions of the other competitors, especially the ones that are in your same class. If you're showing up with a trunk car and you don't want to go up against someone because they're in the same class with you, they're in Godfather or Kingpin, sooner or later you might have to. And the best way to be able to try and beat them is to look at their system and to listen to what they're doing, take notes, look at their system, take pictures of it. Even if they really don't want you to, take pictures of it. There's no harm in taking pictures, but just gather the knowledge.
Good
Have
evening.
fun with it.
Oh, well, there's a name I ain't seen in forever. I haven't seen you since finals of last year. He runs down in Montgomery for me. I haven't been down there a while.
Nice.
And this man right here has a XB that makes the back doors look like they're just flapping. Man, such a great build. Love them no walls. Well, does anybody have anything for us tonight? Because we don't have a whole lot of shows coming up.
We don't. We're in kind of a lull right now as far as
Good
shows. We've
evening.
got like 4 in the next month, month and a half. That's not a lot.
No, we don't have a whole lot of shows because the North pretty much shut down for a minute.
We have to. I think Jimmy and Sonia might have actually gotten more snow over the last week than I did, and I'm further north than they are by about 300 miles. I think Kansas City kind of got a little bit of cold, and that was evident by a few other things. So,
More Texas shows.
ah,
Whenever you say, sir.
John Ray, if Melissa can't get down there, I might even try and get down there because I can connect with I-29 to I-35 and hit the north end of Dallas Fort Worth area pretty easily. Courtney, I try to get the weather from down there to come up here, but it's going to be a while. Although we are going to be above freezing like Monday or Tuesday of next week. I think it was going to hit 34 degrees. Otherwise, we're going to be chilly for a while.
That's going to be good. I think you're really going to enjoy the Base Force lifestyle. It's a whole lot more relaxed and just laid back.
Definitely will, Brandon. And the not to toot our own horns for myself and Melissa, but it's listening to the judges just kind of talking about the systems as they're coming up. If I see, and let me pick on John Ray and Shannon because they're the last 2 comments that I'm seeing there. Oh, if I see John Ray coming up in the system and he's the next car up and Shannon's already in the lane getting metered, I'm going to be talking about those 2 cars. And the best part about talking about them is when you get the rapport with them, or even if you don't, it's poking them just a little bit to make sure that they're actually getting as loud as they can be and to make sure that they are doing themselves a good deal of service as well, aside from us being able to make fun of them a little bit, because that is part of it. We do get to have a lot of fun at these shows, and we're not as serious as some of the other orgs, but we're louder than a lot of the other orgs as well.
Exactly. I don't want you to be leaving DBs on the table, so I don't want to put restrictions on where you have to do things. You do what your skill tells you to do.
Exactly. If you're leaving DBs out, if you just don't want to, you don't necessarily want to beat someone by 5 or 6 DB all the time, but if you want to do that, we can find another class for you as well. We can do a music run so people can see what you might do in, again, maybe the Twister class or something. And if you want to do the trunk twister class, we can have that happen. If you want to do a hurricane class, we can do that as well. Maybe not for trunk, but we can get a few things done. And yeah, Mama Boom is always going to say all knobs to the right there, Shannon. That is true.
Absolutely.
Maybe not all the way to the right, but just enough to take home first.
Got to save that one click for when you absolutely freaking need it.
One. Oh God.
I don't save anything.
I save like 4 or 5 clicks, and I'm still, well, I used to be really loud, but now I'm not because we changed classes 2 years ago. But Perry, we've talked about that a little bit, a hurricane trunk class.
We don't have enough people that could run that across the United States.
Yeah.
The reason we don't have it is because our term labs have 48 spots.
Mm-hmm.
We are at 48. Something had to go. So if we're not going to have competitors running across the country to stack that class, there's really no need in having it.
Yeah, it's hard for a trunk vehicle to get 19 hertz and lower as well. I'm not saying it's impossible, because it certainly is. I've seen a lot of them doing 16, 17,
I've
18.
seen some of my boys do it. It amazes me, but yet there's not a whole lot of competition out there for that. Let's go to classes that we can have 10, 12 people compete in the same class. That way it's fun.
Yep.
Hi.
I always take a little. Not a lot.
I haven't seen you in a hot minute, sir. Good to see you up in here.
Courtney, you know all about that sniper meter too, man. I'm telling you,
He is our sniper winner from last year. He managed to pull a 50 out of a console box. So, yeah, we just let him do his own thing. Let him be happy.
I got to get a ruling from Billy on something about that, because, well, I won't say. But I'm just going to say that I need a ruling from Billy on that class on something else.
Oh, well, as with everything, if we need, Billy will answer.
Yep, because I have a build that I believe is going to be coming up that might push maybe 160 in a sniper.
Oof. I don't know how he's doing that, but
it's a big vehicle.
It's
a big vehicle. That's all I know. No one told me exactly what the guy's doing, but I got to get a ruling from Billy on it. But
all right, he says, "I got you, man."
If you can, I'd gladly love to see it.
I'll take that. A 60 on a console box. Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. I'll let you just roll through the lanes, sir. You can meter once and go on about your day.
That would be a lot of fun to see.
Good evening, sir.
Jermaine, good evening. Oh. Yeah, if you get a car that's playing like the 22, 23 range all the time, definitely get into a couple of the music classes.
Definitely.
Just let the car have fun. The every once in a while, that's when you grab a remote control if your deck is capable of having one, or you use a umbilical if you've got a bigger vehicle or something, and you button up the doors, you look over at the screen, you give the judge a wink or a wave or whatever, you unpause the music, you crank the knob a little bit, you just let it play for that 30 seconds or 1 minute, whichever class you're participating in, and just have fun with it.
I have a question, RJ. You say you've got a car that can go down to 22 hertz. Is that a Cobalt by chance? I'm curious what kind of car it is. Oh man, I can't wait to see those boys back playing. That's gonna be awesome. A sealed death match.
Hogan, we can do
Oh,
that. That darts.
uh,
That
we do
darts is
not
close to
currently have
death.
a class that is sealed. If you want to seal up and do death match, I don't care. I don't care if you bust every window you got.
Not
That's on
responsible
you.
for door hinges, windshields, AC vents, rear view mirrors.
Dart. God, I haven't seen a dart get that low yet. That's impressive, sir.
Darts are actually pretty decent for SQ as well, I have found
Yeah,
out.
they are.
Kind of wide enough dash that it makes it pretty decent as far as your well, I won't get into the SQ stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has a no-wall build that was knocking me off the running boards. I was just trying to stand up and get a hair trick. No, that hurt. That thing is impressive. Okay, y'all want to do some side bets? Y'all do y'all's thing.
It's got to be a
Come ask me
gentleman's
if
or
I got
gentlewoman's
any on
bet.
it. Because I might be down to play some bets on some of y'all.
That's something that my mom and I do every once in a while. We call it the gentle person's bet because it's not a gentleman or a gentle lady's bet, but we do a quarter on a lot of little sports things all year long. But if you want to do $1, I'm not opposed to a single dollar trading hands out there once in a while and things like that because it can be interesting. Get a little side pool going on something.
God, 7 years with the team. That is impressive in itself. Most people stay on a team a year at the most and then move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're on a team for 2 or 3 years, you're
That's
bragging
impressive.
about it as well.
Oh, another stranger I haven't seen in forever. Good evening, Mr. 50.
Hey, Luther.
We've
Bradley,
got some great
you know,
folks up in here
we were
tonight.
just talking about that before the show started.
Yes, we were, because I just turned in my show before the show started because I just got home, y'all.
She
Like,
can't drive in the snow. Sorry, guys.
a girl got stuck up there. I was the last one to leave, and I don't know how to drive in this crap. We had to wait till daylight to get me out of there. Not the next day either. Like, I had to drive home yesterday. But yes, I have the show turned in. It will be posted probably the next day or so. Sorry, I was a little late getting home.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, we take all the results, okay? When we're doing the show and we're done handing out the tag plates and calling everybody up and saying, hey, this person was in the top 10 for the day, or this person had the loudest non-port score of the day, or however we do it, you know, we take those results, we email them off to Billy, or if it's a small enough show, I can text them to Billy because he doesn't mind reading 3 or 4 names and that's it. But we text them to Billy. Billy then takes them and creates, a nice background like these or something like what Melissa has behind her with all the tag plates and spaces everything off for about 5 minutes while he's looking at a right spacing or a right font or a name, things like that. And then he starts putting the names in them. And it's not a 5-minute process. It is a little bit longer. So as soon as he gets them, I generally give him 2 days for it. So hopefully for you with those, a day or two is probably what we're looking at normally, Bradley. But being that it's midweek right now, and I'm fairly certain Billy's probably doing something else tonight other than watching us.
Wednesdays
Probably
he's
have
between
him.
his dad's.
Yeah, he's
So
probably
he's
going to
not
have
even
him
at home.
tomorrow night.
But yep, I see this one left when it saw ice.
Oh,
And
hang on.
I
My,
do appreciate the ones who metered and went ahead and for safety issues left. Those roads were bad. And I do appreciate everybody putting safety first because that's a big thing. We need y'all at next week's shows, and you can't get there if something happens to you. But yeah, you got some good help. You'll be just fine. Now, us Southerners are not like Northerners. We don't know how to drive in this. And what we got wasn't, the nice, pretty, fluffy snow. It was just one big block of ice. So, with that being said, we always tell y'all base wars first, but this time safety first. I appreciate it, y'all. Because honestly, none of us should have been driving in that.
Craig, there's a couple local judges up there that could probably help you out with a winter show. Get in touch with them. You got Brandon Erickson. You got Tony Dulger, a couple other people in that area that could help you out with Ohio, Indiana, Michigan.
You don't ask Luther about it. You ask Mama about it.
Or you ask Melissa about it. Because if I start calling you Mama, Sonia's going to wonder who I'm actually talking to.
Well, I call most of the wives Mama. I really do. And it's a term of endearment. Because these ladies that come out just to watch their husbands or significant others, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah, but I can't say what most people call me at a show. We'd get the page taken down on Facebook for all the swearing that happens to me. It's, hey, you. Hey, why don't you do this and shove this and that? And
Mama done told him no. Okay, well, if she said no, that is the answer. I can't even help you there. I ain't going up against that one. No.
Easier to get forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There's another Noel about to jump ship. Man, you're right. Tennessee has some fabulous shows.
There you go. Danielle putting her foot down. I am the final. There you go.
Like I said, if she says no, that's the answer.
Yeah, guys, you can buy all the equipment you want, but if they say no, I do not have a couch for you. I'm sorry. None of my guys, and gals, I don't have a couch for you.
I can't help y'all if y'all get beat up. I'm sorry. You got to live with it at home. Good evening, Mr. Chris. Good to see you tonight. So,
RJ, be careful with that bigger ramp. Might move you into a different class.
Okay, let's discuss this. Because
or it might not.
That is something that I've had come up a lot in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
The single power bump. Can you explain that to these guys?
Sure.
Let's do that.
Let's use my vehicle as the example. I have in the past, when Stealth was 200 inches or 250 and a 3K limit, I used a 3K amp. So I'm right at my limit. I can compete there. If I want to, okay, and RJ's doing it right because he's going to stay under a 3K limit, which is our smallest power rating.
Okay.
If you go above your power rating for the class, and the good thing about it, as always, I have my sheet right here in front of me, so I can speak much more intelligently about it. But if we go to the trunk class for stealth, which is a 3K max and 250 inches, which means you can basically do 212s in it, come up at 226. You're under that 250 inch limit, but you've got a Terramps 8K. That's only going to move you up one class. It's not going to move you into the 5 to 10K class. It's going to move you up one power class. So instead of going from stealth all the way up to Godfather, you're only going to go into boss.
Okay. I'm going to stop you. How much power can you run once you took that one power bump?
One power bump? If you've got 1 amp going to one sub or any subs and any amount of power, for the most part, as long as you are under that square inch limit, you can run 1,000,000 watts to it if you want to. I don't care, because we're not going to clamp it. We will take it at face value with everything else that is out there.
It is one single power bump.
One bump.
One class. As long as you keep that cone area, you're there forever. Yep. Add what you want. We don't care.
So
we like it when y'all do y'all. All right. We have Mr. Billy Temple in the house tonight. Good evening.
And that's almost exactly what Billy said about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. He was talking about the same thing. And he said, I think Billy said 5,000,000 watts, but
yeah,
I'm keeping it respectable at 1,000,000. But
if you want to pull a Carlos Rodriguez on us and put 30,000 watts on one sub, do that. But you're gonna take that one power bump. And in all honesty, it couldn't be more fair when it's laid out like that.
RJ, you wouldn't even move up to Godfather. You would move up to boss. You'd go from stealth to boss.
Nope. That's it. You're going straight to boss, sir.
One class. That's it. Not two. One class.
Driving home. Thought I'd tune in. Well, we always love to have you.
Yep. You run your 1.21 gigawatts through your flux capacitor, which I do have the part number for. I do have an O'Reilly's right next door to me as well. I'm going to pick one up tomorrow, along with my blinker fluid and my exhaust belts.
Oh, we're coming up a little short on these gigawatts over here.
Speak for yourself. I got a couple of those 160,000 watt amps. I got 48 batteries in the back.
But in all honesty, the way I see it, a sub's only going to take so much. So a lot of times when you power up like that, you end up hurting yourself. Mm-hmm. Run the right power. It works good.
I'd rather ask them for parts for an 83 Corvette.
Oh, don't do that. Man. If you don't know what it is, look it up after the show.
Yep. And speaking of power, let me...
He just had to make me turn red, didn't he?
It's going to happen. Let's see.
Okay, y'all. I blush. So what? Let's move on. Okay, let's move to another topic. Yeah.
I was trying to find something last night, and I did find it. And now I'm not seeing it. Now I'm seeing it.
Good evening, sir. Good to see you in here.
Take a lot of power. It's not necessarily going to hurt it to give it less.
No.
And I'm saying that kind of carefully, because Problem with less power than what your sub can handle, and this was something that I saw earlier today on a forum. Problem with too little power, you're always going to want a little bit more out of it, and you're going to end up clipping your signal. If you've got a 3,000 watt amp and you've got a 1,500 watt sub, for my money, that's about right. You should double your power. If you've got 5 or 10,000 going per coil, yeah, that's a possibility as well. But there aren't too many people named Carlos and Jessica out there that can do that. So, yeah, got to be careful with your power. So just because you've got the availability of that power doesn't mean you have to use it all. You can always turn it that way. Although I won't generally say that in the lanes, but you can't always turn it up anymore. And if you do, you run the risk of blowing a lot of things up.
A clean signal will get you a whole lot further in this game than anything. Keep it clean. Keep all your equipment running nice. If you need to, add to later. You can always add another amp. Okay. All right. Keep the comments clean, guys.
Bubba, please. Hopefully by final 8 of those 63s. Nice. Michael, I would love to see that happen. I'd be interested to see how hot those coils get on the inside of the amps. I'm not talking.
Well, I'm kind of curious. Why not PSI? He has been hard and heavy on PSI for years. Where's them PSI amps? he smokes so much he don't even know he's clipping. All right, I'll give you that one.
Well, yes. That does help.
Clean all the way through.
Helps to have a higher voltage so you get a better noise score.
All right. As long as you ain't giving up on PSI, because I'm coming back. Coming back this weekend exactly. That is, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask for some help. I need 2 subs lifted up out of my truck this week. If anybody loves me, come help. Like, I got 2 days to get this done.
Pay for my gas. It's a long way down South Alabama this weekend.
Every friend I have went, no, that girl got DC level 6s up in there. I ain't helping her.
Those things weigh more than you do.
Yes, they do. And I need help. Okay, 3 builds this year. Good deal.
Yeah, is it going to be more than 40 degrees? I might have to, put on pants otherwise.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, give me some help down here, man. I can't play without it. No subs heavy.
That's a lightweight sub. That is actually a lightweight sub, comparatively speaking, to some that are out there now.
Oh, man.
Level 6s are big and beefy.
They're posting lately. I'm looking at it going, how are we supposed to install that? I'm going to be out. Because
very carefully.
I've got a new rule. If the sub weighs more than me, I'm not buying it ever again.
Lies. The judges tell you.
No. Truth. Truth. Nothing I own is heavier than me at this point besides those DCs.
Terry, that's an awesome question up there. When is the next show in Alabama, North Alabama, or Tennessee?
Let's see. we are setting some more shows for cartoons as we speak. The next show for Middle Alabama is Anniston next weekend. Let's see what we got.
Base Wars 160 after that, maybe? Or turn down for what the weekend after that?
Yeah, I'm not showing a whole lot. So, how about this? You want a show? Help me. Line one up. But yes, I am working on some North Alabama shows. I just gotta get some dates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep in mind, folks, we cannot ask your city council for a show. We can only show up once it's approved. So get in touch with your local judge, be it myself, be it Melissa, be it Billy, if he's able to help, whoever your local judge is.
Contact your local judge
let us know.
before you go to the city. We might
Let
not
us know
have
when you're
those
thinking.
dates available.
Yeah. Let us know what you're thinking for those show dates. And if our weekends are open, our weekdays, perhaps, especially if it's a middle of the summer, July 4th kind of holiday thing. If you want to do something on July 4th, I'm more than happy to do something then for it. So I don't think we'll have many people coming out there just to see us, but they might want to see some actual fire. I'll be more than happy to do a show on July 4th for anybody up here. But otherwise,
That's it.
help us get the permits and we'll be able to have a show somewhere. If you guys can't help us get shows, we can't help you get the 5 shows you need to show up at finals. So
that's what it is. We all help each other and get it done. Yeah, I can't show up without somebody telling me where I'm supposed to be. I follow orders well. You tell me what day you want, I put it in my phone. I load my truck up the day before and come see you.
Yep.
I don't know about that. He's causing fireworks all over the Buc-ee's now.
Just your IR indicator doesn't work properly anymore is all. Those things heat up. I'm sorry. I like them, but they get hot. I've touched them and left a whole handprint on the top of them before.
Man, there was one amp and it had a purple tinge to it. And I touched that amp and burnt my hand and realized that was a black amp that was starting to iodize itself. It's like, what the crap? But they had been playing all night. But I thought the color, the purple tinge to it was really pretty. No, that was heat.
Every once in a while, you'll get an installer out there who's been doing this for a really, really long time. And I know such an installer who was doing it when I was doing this, and I thought I was doing it for a long time already. This is going to be 20 some odd years ago. The fingertips, after pulling apart dashboards and just playing around in cars for so long, they've ripped the tips of their fingers so many times that they start losing the nerve endings in them, and they'll look at an amp and boom, right on it, and they don't care. You'll see a fingerprint on the surface of the amp, and 3 months later that amp will come back in and it'll have blown up because it's been so hot for so long that connections are bad on the inside and things like that. But I had one guy, I won't say his name, but I think he's still in the business, and I've been doing this for 30 years, and he had been doing it for 20 at the time, so he's probably damn near 70 by now. But he put his hands right on the amp and never pulled them off, regardless of how hot they were. And damn, yeah, burns and burns and burns.
Yep.
There is just no feeling like that.
Good evening. It's nice to see you, Sam.
Yeah, mine get burned, and then this time of year they get frozen, and my fingers, even in gloves and then mittens over the top of them, my fingertips are cold within about 2 minutes of going outside if it's below zero.
And just so everybody knows, we're not picking on a certain amp here by no means. We're just saying what we have seen. We like all the amps that work. As long as you roll up in the lanes and you can burp your vehicle or play music, that amp is just fine by me. I don't care. Although there is one or two people out there that say I'm an amp snob. But that's my personal life. Y'all have to separate my judge's life from my personal life.
I am, and I used to run an amp that had 8-gauge wire going into it from the factory. I won't say which Power 650 it was, but you know, that was
No, not at all.
Sam, that's true in some cases.
Yes, that Crescendo 12K I have.
Some of the older surfboards and some of the newer ones that are out there, they probably are taller.
I've got a photo of me sitting the amp on my foot and holding it up, and you barely see my head above the thing. I love that. All right. Worst case scenario, freeze plug, you'll be all right. It's all going to be fine. Fix your stuff. But I understand getting a new build ready and forgetting to do the mechanicals on it. I really do. You were excited to get that one out to the lanes.
Man, Shane, speaking about antifreeze there, I remember the old school bazooka amps that had the antifreeze lines going into them back in the early 90s. That was a great technology. It was just messy, unfortunately.
No, that was terrifying.
It was
Absolutely
nice.
terrifying because we could mess that up so bad.
Yep. But it made so much sense to do at the time. It was the only amp that was out there. It was like,
All right.
man,
I'm going to ask your opinion and everybody in the chat. Liquid cooled alternators. Is this going to be our future or is this some hype? Let me see what y'all think. I want to know because they are out there on the market now. Not a lot of us can afford it, but I want to know what everybody thinks. Yeah, I'm happy your build did good too. I was impressed that it pulls hair tricks sealed. All right, Kentucky judge is Pop-Tart. I saw that here somewhere. Let me get back to it. There. Pop-Tart is your Kentucky judge. He does a little bit of Tennessee and Kentucky. All right. Got one going to stick with old school. There's.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I'm actually seeing an old post about it from 2017 about a water cooled high amp 12-volt alternator. Back in 2014.
Yeah, they're out there. There's not a whole lot of information on them.
I was going to say, I knew about them, but damn, I hadn't thought that they were that old.
Expensive. And for us that run single alternators, is this the way we need to be going? I'm curious. I want more information.
Yeah, I was going to say if you got a dry ice box or something for them to cool down everything.
Well, I put a fan on mine, one of the big 4-inch Atwoods. That thing works great.
David, I can't go there, David, with the meth water, but you know, we got a plethora of it here in South Dakota, I guess. I talk about
Excuse me, sir, you're supposed to be working on some bikes. You ain't supposed to be in Jamaica. You're supposed to be getting these Gale Force bikes loud.
Shannon, no one has an exclusive well, okay, I guess I do, but no one wants to drive up here.
All right. Pop-Tart's area, he meets up with me, he meets up with Greg, and then he goes all the way up to, oh shit, somebody tag Pop-Tart so he can give us that circle again. But he does do Kentucky. He's just got little bits and pieces of places. His area is, I couldn't keep up with all that. I can just tell you I got 2 states and be okay.
2.
2. Yeah. One does really well. And I need help in Georgia. I will be honest about it. I'm not in Georgia enough. I don't live there. Therefore, I don't know good locations to go. So Georgia, I do need help with. All right, let's see, back to this. Because I know quite a bit of us in the South run fans on our alternators.
Yep.
But the thought of liquid cool, that could either go really good or really mess some stuff up. I'm not educated enough on it to know, but I want to be.
I would like to be. And that's something else. You know, as the technology changes here, folks, I like saying I got a lot of experience. I do not know everything. All of us judges have a lot of experience, but we don't know everything.
No. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't know everything. Go ahead, fill me in on how this works. But the reason Samuel says that is his car does not ever have a hood on it. And yeah, I kind of agree with that. I can't afford to be educated because my want list is kind of high.
Sam, if you're running, you know, the rain gutter directly off the top of where the hood would be, but it just kind of fills up that trough and flows right down on top of the alternator, that works. It's gravity fed, man. It's not using solar, it's not using wind power, it's not using nuclear. Well, you got the 1.21 gigawatts, it might be.
All right. Feel free to contact Pop-Tart about the shows or just contact Billy directly if you would like.
Yeah.
Anything y'all have got for us, contact your judge, contact Billy. We're all here to help. And I'm pretty sure Pop-Tart needs some shows because he's actually running his list already and pretty much got a whole year planned out. See? That's what I'm thinking. Just giving it a little thought, you know. Might be the wave of the future. Why
Definitely
not?
reach out to your local judges always. If you got an idea for a show or if you want to do something special at the show, let us know.
It doesn't sound like it would be that complicated. My thing is it effective? Does it help? When we're like at Slamology in 120-degree heat on blacktop, is that going to help when our alternators are at the bottom? Because I have a problem with mine overheating. I will
It's at
make
the
that
bottom, it'd
thing
be better.
blow.
I'd rather have my alternator at the bottom of everything, especially in the engine compartment, rather than at the top where all of the heat is being trapped in by the hood.
I don't know. I have my alternator on the XB is at the top, and it lasts a little bit longer than the truck.
Okay.
And it's only because I've got a fan behind a headlight that kind of, because mine's really close to the header. So I just blow it the opposite way. But
Mine
every
is
little bit
back
helps.
on the right side of the engine. No, left side as you're looking at into the engine, but back right side from underneath. Mine doesn't generally get too hot. But then again, most of our shows down here, they're not on blacktop either. So
Oh man, we do blacktop shows down here and
we get nice parks and
150-degree
things like
heat.
that.
We're talking about equipment that's already hot when you roll into a show. It's bad. Summers down here are not only hot, they're humid, which two things equipment does not like.
True. So when you bring a big box fan and you just set it underneath your car. Not that I've ever done that, or that it's against a guideline.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens more than we want to admit. And that's why I'm thinking, is the liquid cooled going to help us or not? Be some cool technology if it worked. But I don't know that we all have pockets that deep. But eventually it'll get to where we can all afford it. One more team No Chill up in the house. Man, No Chill and flexing on them. They heavy tonight for us. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. Speak for yourself, man. My pockets are empty. My debit card's empty. My credit card's empty.
Sam, I take donations. I'll send you my Cash App and my PayPal later.
Yep.
And yeah, portable fans, like I said, guys, gals, if
Man, he had a really good one. He had one of the Milwaukee fans. That thing was a freaking tornado. I loved it.
I have watched several very loud local people bring leaf blowers that are battery powered to the show, and they'll set that thing on high and stick it right in the center of the port, and it's blowing out all the heat out of their box so that they're down. Yes, I do. I want all 53 cents, man. I won't take all your money. I'll take 26. I'll leave you a little more than half.
Sam, go ahead and get with me because I know you do your Toys for Tots show on certain days. We need to start looking for a location, sir. We need to get on that this year. Get on it hard because this town where I live needs things like that bad. And that's another thing. Charity shows, we need y'all to get those in 6 months to a year in advance.
Speaking of
we can help promote heavy if we have the information to put out there. Nobody comes if they don't know where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of charity shows and things like that, Richard had a fantastic show here. I don't remember if it was last weekend or the weekend before. There was a benefit show out in California. And
Yes.
everyone that showed up out there, thank you for coming out to that show.
Come out for Ray and his family.
Yep.
Yes. And just so y'all know, it might not be things that happen in our area, but we know what the other judges are doing and what their shows are for. We support them 100%. Always.
December 7th.
All right. Are we going to be able to get me a noise permit to come?
You specifically?
Yes. This is my hometown. We're going to play. Or do we need to book your car show at one spot and take the Base Wars somewhere else? Because that is an option. We can do the base shows. Boy. Boy.
I think that answered your question, Melissa.
He fucks with me hard. That is so bad. Yes. That's another thing.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
Share these shows. We need y'all. It costs y'all nothing to share the shows. But whether you know it or not, there might be some newbie out there that's never ran lanes that sees that and shows up. Unless they know where we're at, they won't be there. Help out some folks. Because my friends list ain't your friends list. We all got different peoples. Yep. Mall's funny with their rule. Yeah, we found that out the hard way.
Yeah, malls can be a little weird with their rules sometimes, even if you're in an area that they're not necessarily using.
All right. I'll look and see some of my other locations and see what we can come up with. But we'll come up with a Toys for Tots show that is Base Wars friendly for somewhere. Just to help out Tuscaloosa. And I know I have another one for a lady in Tarrant. I think it's somewhere in middle Alabama, but it's another charity. Same stuff.
Damn.
But if nobody has anything or any questions, let's go over these shows one more time because I know UAF's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
UAF is always a great night show.
Yep. First Friday of every month, UAF always has a nighttime show. It starts at 6 p.m. Bring out your neon. Bring out your loud as well. That's kind of self-explanatory, but bring out your neon. Join the lit class. We do still offer that. It might not be on the sheets all the time, but actually, I take that back. It is on the sheet. It's the last one that's on the sheet. But come on out with all your neon.
All right, and that's a Friday night show. Do we have any Saturday shows?
We got your show coming up in Anniston.
Sunday
show. And let's see, after that,
what do we have?
Don't really have much coming up after that, unfortunately, for a while here. We're going to have a few things coming up. Let me get to the big list here because Richard has a show coming up he has his birthday bash coming up on February 10th. That one for all of our California folks. That one is going to be out in Fresno. And after that, that's on the 10th, by the way. Then we got to wait for 2 more weeks where we get to go out to Vegas. Richard is hosting the showdown in Vegas out there.
Showdown's a huge show. If y'all can make it, put that on your list.
It is a little bit northwest of Vegas. It's in Primm, Nevada, almost at Nebraska there. It is a 2-day show. It is a Friday and a Saturday. And from what I understand, there's going to be a few very loud people, including someone that's showing how loud he is right now, because Carlos is changing out a sub right now. I got him going on in the background. He just did a 174 something with the Jones sound solution, the JSS sub.
Oh,
15,000 watts almost. I saw that as I was kind of glancing back and forth between the two here most of the night. He did a 179.67 at 23,500. So Delilah is working well for him.
And while we're on this, thank you to Carlos. Thank you to Jessica. We appreciate every bit of knowledge y'all are putting out here for us.
If you folks have not watched any of the Carlos videos that I have tried to share from his feed over to the Base Wars feed here, not necessarily tonight, although I did share it as soon as I saw him come on at about 7:15 tonight. Go back and check out some of the subs that he has put in there. And don't be hating on any of them when you look at where they're placing, unless you're a really, really big fanboy of something. They're all very impressive for what they are.
Yeah, and even the vault sub was impressive.
Some of them are surprising that they did or did not place higher or lower than where you thought, and the amount of power that they've taken.
Good night, Mr. Jeffrey. We will see you soon. Hope you get some shows loaded up.
2 a.m. That's early.
All right. So where were we with those shows? What all we got?
That's about all we have really right now until March. We got your show in Anniston this Sunday, 2:00.
And after this show, I don't have anything for February, so y'all give me some pop-ups. Y'all can't leave me sitting here broke. Don't have a whole lot.
In all of February, we've got 3 shows, and one is UAF, Friday the 2nd, 6:00. We got Richard's birthday bash. We got the Vegas showdown. After that, we got UAF again already, because we've only got 3 shows scheduled for February. But we got a lot scheduled for March. We got quite a few scheduled for April and May. So the longer that we know about shows, or rather in this case, the sooner that we know about the shows, the more publicity we can get out there for them, the bigger the turnout. We'll have, a pizza party would be nice at some of them.
Oh, definitely. But that's a long drive. Y'all give me a whole weekend for that one.
But yeah, if we don't know about the shows, guys, we can't help you out, unfortunately. If you know someone that can help get us into a show, that always helps as well.
Even if you know about a car show that we can come to, hit up that judge.
Pizza over raises. Is that not 100% true?
Good evening to my favorite Orion build.
spend $300 on
Matter of
pizza
fact,
for 50 people.
let's just go ahead and get this out of here. This man drove 1,000 miles for something this weekend and just showed us a box. He didn't even show us what was in the box. Just, yeah, I drove 1,000 miles. Here's the box. Man, that ain't even fair. All right, I will see you in Anniston next weekend. And if Carlos is still doing his show, why don't we go ahead and all get off and go give them some love?
Carlos is still doing his stuff.
Okay, well, let's go watch them run some subs.
The quick little note about it that I believe it is Jones Sound Solutions, JSS.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the sponsors of it. He's posted a 179.67 right now on just a hair over 23,500 watts. And it looks like he's waiting for the temp to get back down to that 69, 70 range before he does one other burp.
All right.
That thing was loud.
I'm about to get off here and go watch myself. Everybody that came to Cartoons of the Shoals, I appreciate you. I'm glad everybody made it home safely. Mm-hmm. Justin, the owner of the shop, I'm grateful. See y'all soon. I'm excited. Now, let's go watch Carlos. We'll have a great night.
Have a good one, folks. See you in the lanes.